Hello and welcome to another in our video series providing an overview of the production module in SAP Business One. In this session, we will review the concept of production standard cost. The production standard cost was introduced in version 9.2 and is found on the inventory item master data. Let's call up one of the components of our production bills of material, and we see there's a new tab called Production Data. On this tab, you see what the default issue method is. If this item was a parent item in a bill of material, it would tell us what type that was and provide a drill down. It would let us know the number of item components and the number of resource components that were present in that bill of material. But most importantly, it also would give us the production standard cost. The production standard cost, it's important to note, will not be used to value either the component item or the finished good item as a result of a production run. This is strictly here as an indication of what the cost of this item should be when it relates to production. For components, you probably would want to calculate what the cost of this component would be, or if you were manufacturing the component as a subcomponent, for example, what the cost to manufacture this component would be. Once you've calculated that, you could easily type the number in here, and that would be the indication that you would have for a cost for this component. But there are also tools available to you to set the production standard cost. For instance, maybe for this moving average valued item, the current cost of this item being carried in the warehouses, 125, is indicative, and that's what you wanted to set the cost for production standard cost for this component to be. To do that, for all of your items, you would move to Production, Production Standard Cost Management, and Production Standard Cost Update. This would allow you to update the production standard cost from the current valuation cost for an item, a series of items, or all items in a group or relating to a certain item property. Let's do it for all of our component items. So we will begin with CMP 001, and we will conclude with CMP 200. We will choose, say OK, and the operation has completed successfully. When we now come back to our CMP 100, our production data tab, refresh the screen, we see that the production standard cost has now been set to $125. Now we know that this component is used in a number of bills of material, but it's used in the bill of material for finished good number 100. So let's call that up. When we look at the production data tab, the production standard cost is still 0. So even though we've updated the production standard cost for the components that roll up into finished goods 100 on its bill of material, it has not updated the production standard cost. As a quick aside, you see that since this is a parent item, the bill of material type production is here, and you are able to drill back into the bill of material to see it from the production data tab. Of course, there is a way now for you to update this production standard cost based on the components by using a simple tool called the Production Standard Cost Rollup. You can do it for a specific item or a range of items. We will do it for just FG100. Operation has completed successfully. We refresh. And now we see that the production standard cost for 1 unit of FG100 should be $339.50. That is the sum of all of the production standard costs for the components in the bill of material for this finished good. Again, this does not indicate what the valuation of this item FG100 will be at the end of a production run, but it is an indication that says based on the current costing, you can expect that your valuation cost will be $339.50. How is this valuable? This can now be used in two ways. First, it could be used in your sales organization with an eye toward providing them a solid indication of what the cost of these items would be to produce so that they can price them accordingly. Secondarily, it can give a way for your production staff and your production management staff to evaluate whether the production process is in alignment. How would you do that? For example, you might want to take a look at the inventory items list. So we'll go through and find that, and we'll do it for FG100. And we see that the last evaluated price was $362.50. The last purchase price, or the last time it was manufactured, is $372, and that compares unfavorably to the production standard cost of $339.50. Therefore, the production manager should be looking to determine what the reason for this variance is, whether a component was purchased at an unusually high price, whether the production standard cost needs to be updated because of higher costs on components, or maybe additional labor was used in the last run, what have you. But it's an indication to the production manager that he should be looking at this item to determine why the last production run is higher than the production standard cost. That concludes this video session on production standard costs. We hope you found it useful. Hopefully you are now aware of how to use the two tools, the production standard cost update and the production standard cost rollup, and you can understand what the production standard cost is used for and when it is appropriate. Thank you. We hope that you also watch the other videos in this series providing an overview on the production module in SAP Business One. Thank you.